Here we'll show you a video where there is a bowling team and there is this last shot left to win the match. Now to win this match, they'll need that perfect shot so that they can win the match. Let's see this clip of that last shot. Here you can see that this ball is thrown by an extremely good bowler. It's going. Wow, it will give a shot. But what is this? It stopped. Now how did that happen? Well, we'll come to that. Now, if you try this at home, like pushing a book on a table, you'll see that the book goes some distance and then it stops. Now, why does this happen? Is there some force acting over here that is stopping this book to move forward? The book is going forward, but then it is stopping. There must be some force that is not allowing it to go further. Now, what is that force called? Well, that force is called force of friction. Where does this force of friction come from? Well, this force of friction is caused by the rubbing of one object or surface against another. So you can see that the book is rubbing against the surface of the table here. So there is this force of friction that is causing the book to stop after some distance. So what did we learn? The resistance that one surface or object encounters. Now what is this resistance? This resistance means the stopping effect. So in our example, the stopping effect was experienced by whom or encountered by the book. How did the book encounter that? Well, when moving over another. So the book or the object was moving on the table. So this resistance or the stopping effect was created when both these surfaces rubbed against each other. Now friction is a contact force. What do you mean by contact force? Now friction occurs when two surfaces or two bodies are in contact with each other. In our example, the book and the table were in contact with each other. Both their surfaces were in contact. So friction occurred. Now this friction slows a moving object down. There is a characteristic of this friction that it slows moving objects. Here we'll show you a video where there will be a very fast moving train moving at a great speed, but the brakes are failed. Let's see what happens. Well, yay! Who's there? The Superman. Oh, what will he do to stop the train? The train is going at a very great speed. Well, that Superman is here. And what is it doing? Well, he is actually trying to push the train in the opposite direction to stop it. And the train finally stopped. Well, in the same way, to stop a moving object, we need to apply force in the opposite direction. So, friction is that force that opposes motion. So, if the book is moving in this direction, the direction of friction will come from the opposite way. So, the direction of motion is this way, and the direction of friction is this way. Now, what if I change my direction of motion? Here, I have changed my direction of motion. I am pushing the book in this direction. So, my direction of motion is this way. So, from where will the direction of friction come? Well, the friction that opposes motion will come from this way so that it can stop the moving object. So, the direction of friction will come from this way. So, what did we learn? That direction of friction is always opposite to the direction of motion. Now, you may be thinking that friction always opposes motion, so it is an evil thing. But no, frictional force is very necessary in our life. How? This is an example. The force of friction helps the brake system to stop a car. The frictional force forms a big part of the brake system when it stops a car. Not only in cars, but also it helps in bicycles. Now, friction also helps us to write on the blackboard or paper. Now, this is friction that is allowing me to write on this board. Otherwise, the pen would have fallen from my hand, or if you even write on a blackboard or a paper, the pen will fall from your hand if friction is not present. Now, friction helps to light a matchstick as well. You can see that the spark a matchstick produces is due to the friction that is acting between the bottom of this matchstick and the side of this matchbox. Due to friction, the matchstick gets lighted. Now, this friction also enables us to walk. How? If friction is not present between our feet and this ground, we will slip and fall down. So what did we learn? We learned that friction is the force that opposes the motion of an object. It acts from the opposite direction because it has to oppose the motion. So if the direction of the motion is this, the force of the friction will act like this. So we can say friction acts in the opposite direction of motion.